What if I told you you've been doing it all wrong? People are dropping thousands on complicated solar setups with massive batteries they can't maintain without a clue what to do when those batteries fail. Here's the hard truth. The grid is way more fragile than you think. If the power went out right now and never came back, would you be ready? For most, the answer is no. But here's the good news. You don't need the grid or batteries to thrive. For generations, people survived with ingenuity, and today we can combine that old-school know-how with modern tech to create tools that keep you going when the lights go out for good. In this video, I'm breaking down 10 genius devices that run on free energy, no batteries required. These aren't just gadgets, they're your lifeline. If you're serious about self-reliance, hit that subscribe button and let's get started. 1. Solar-powered water pump system. Let's start with the most critical resource you'll need when the grid goes down. Water. It's not the darkness that'll get you. It's the silence of your well pump. Picture this. The power's out, your taps are dry, and you're staring at a rain barrel or a pond, realizing every single gallon of water you need has to be hauled by hand. It's exhausting, demoralizing, and completely avoidable. The solution? A solar-powered water pump system. Specifically, a 12-volt DC water pump powered directly by a solar panel. No batteries, no charge controllers, just a simple, efficient setup that works when you need it most. But here's the catch. You can't just wire the pump straight to the panel. That's a rookie mistake. Solar panel voltage fluctuates wildly depending on sunlight, and those spikes can fry your pump motor in seconds. The secret to making this work is a DC to DC buck converter. This tiny, inexpensive device sits between the solar panel and the pump, stabilizing the voltage to a safe, steady 12 volts. Without it, your pump won't last long. Now imagine this. It's a sunny afternoon. The grid is down, and you need to water your garden, your main food source now. Instead of lugging buckets, you place your solar panel in the sun, drop the pump into your rain barrel, and let it do the work for you. Water flows effortlessly, whether you're irrigating crops, filling a makeshift shower, or transferring water to another container. Here's a pro tip. Oversize your solar panel. For example, use a 100-watt panel for a pump that only needs 36 watts. This ensures the system works even on cloudy days, giving you reliable water access no matter the weather. I've been using this setup for years in my garden, and it's a game changer. No grid, no batteries, no back-breaking labor, just water when you need it. 2. Solar-powered DC fan. When the grid goes down, heat becomes your next enemy, especially in the summer. The air inside your home turns thick, stagnant, and suffocating. No air conditioning, no ceiling fans, just relentless, draining heat. It's not just uncomfortable, it can be downright dangerous. The solution? A 12-volt DC fan powered directly by a solar panel. This setup is brilliant because it's naturally self-regulated. Think about it. When is the sun at its strongest? When it's hottest outside. That's exactly when your solar panel will produce the most power, and your fan will spin the fastest. It's a perfect match. Here's how it works. Connect a solar panel to a buck converter, which stabilizes the voltage to 12 volts, and wire it to a standard DC fan. These fans are easy to find. They're commonly used in cars and RVs. Once set up, you've got a reliable cooling system that costs nothing to run. Want to maximize its effectiveness? Mount the fan in a window to create a cross breeze. Pull cool air in from the shaded side of your house and push hot air out the other. You can also use it in your attic or workshop to vent superheated air. Personally, I have a small 12-volt fan mounted on a piece of plywood that I can move around as needed. On a hot day, I'll set the solar panel outside my office window and place the fan on my desk. No, it's not the icy blast of an air conditioner, but it's the difference between being functional and being a sweaty, miserable mess. And in a grid-down scenario, that little bit of comfort can make all the difference. 3. Solar-powered LED lighting system. When the sun sets in a grid-down world, the darkness is unlike anything most people have ever experienced. It's not just inconvenient, it's disorienting. Flashlights run out of batteries, candles burn down, and suddenly you're fumbling around in the pitch black. Enter the solar-powered LED lighting system. This isn't about lighting up your bedroom at midnight. It's about making the most of daylight hours. Think about the dark corners of your home, your basement, pantry, or workshop. Even during the day, these areas become useless black holes without light. Here's the setup. Run a string of high-efficiency 12-volt LED strips along the ceiling, powered by a small solar panel. A 20 or 30-watt panel is plenty. The key, as always, is the buck converter. LEDs are extremely sensitive to voltage fluctuations, and direct wiring them to a solar panel will kill them instantly. The buck converter ensures a steady 12 volts, keeping your lights safe and functional. I've installed this exact system in my tool shed. A small panel on the roof powers 2 LED strips inside, providing bright, reliable light from sunup to sundown. It's perfect for organizing tools, making repairs, or planning your next move without wasting flashlight batteries. This setup is low-cost, maintenance-free, and incredibly effective. It's about using the daylight hours to their fullest, turning dark, unusable spaces into functional areas. In a grid-down world, that's not just smart, it's essential. 4. Solar USB charger. Stay connected when it matters most. In a crisis, losing power is bad enough, but losing communication, that's a whole new level of trouble. Your smartphone isn't just a gadget, it's your map, your encyclopedia, and your lifeline to the outside world. When that screen goes dark, you're cut off, and that's a dangerous place to be. Sure, power banks are handy, but they're a short-term solution. Once they're drained, they're just dead weight. That's why a solar USB charger is an absolute must-have. And the best part, it's one of the simplest and cheapest DIY projects you can build. Here's how it works. Start with a small solar panel, something as basic as a 10-watt model will do. Then connect it to a USB buck converter. These little devices are dirt cheap and incredibly effective. Their job is to take the unpredictable voltage from the solar panel and stabilize it to the precise 5 volts that USB devices require. Without this step, plugging your phone directly into a solar panel is a surefire way to fry it. Once you've got the setup, it's as simple as placing the panel in the sun and plugging your phone into the USB port. No batteries, no fuss. But let's be clear, this isn't for streaming movies or gaming marathons. This is survival-level charging. It's about getting enough juice to send a critical text, download an offline map, or check an emergency weather update. Personally, I keep a 20-watt panel and a USB buck converter in my go bag. It's lightweight, compact, and gives me peace of mind, knowing I'll never be completely disconnected as long as the sun is shining. In a world where information is power, this little setup is a game changer. 5. Solar thermal cooker. Hot meals without the smoke. When the grid goes down, one of the first things you'll miss is a hot meal. It's not just about calories, it's about comfort, morale, and a sense of normalcy. But without electricity or gas, cooking becomes a real challenge. Sure, you could burn wood, but that comes with its own set of problems. It's messy, fuel-intensive, and the smoke is like a giant "I'm here" sign to anyone nearby. Enter the solar thermal cooker. This isn't your typical solar oven. It's a more advanced, efficient system that uses thermal mass to store heat instead of electricity. Here's how it works. A solar panel, usually around 100 watts, is connected directly to a resistive heating element. This element is built into a super-insulated cooking vessel, like a high-tech thermos or a custom crock-pot. Throughout the day, the solar panel generates electricity, which powers the heating element. The heat is then trapped by the vessel's insulation, creating a slow cooking environment. You can prep a stew or soup in the morning, and by midday, it's cooking away. By evening, you've got a hot, ready-to-eat meal, and the insulation keeps it warm long after the sun goes down. This system is incredibly efficient because every watt of solar energy goes directly into creating and storing heat. There's no need for batteries or complex electronics. It's a straightforward, elegant solution for off-grid cooking. I've used a setup like this to make everything from rice to hearty stews. It's not just practical, it's a morale booster. There's something deeply satisfying about sitting down to a hot meal, knowing it was cooked entirely by the sun. If you're serious about off-grid living, this is a tool worth considering. 6. Hand crank radio, the ultimate survival multi-tool. When disaster strikes, information is your most valuable resource. Is help on the way? What areas are safe? What's the weather doing? In a grid-down scenario, the internet will be useless, and cell towers will be overloaded. Your only reliable source of information will be AM/FM radio and NOAA weather broadcasts. That's where the hand crank radio comes in. This device is a classic for a reason. It's simple, reliable, and doesn't depend on the sun, fuel, or external batteries. A few minutes of cranking can give you 15 to 30 minutes of radio time, and many models also include a built-in flashlight. Modern hand crank radios are more than just radios. They're survival multi-tools. Most come with multiple power options, a small solar panel, a hand crank, and a rechargeable battery. But the crank is the real hero. Even if the battery is completely dead, you can still generate power on demand. Many models also include USB ports, allowing you to charge small devices like phones. No, you're not going to fully charge your smartphone with a hand crank, but you can generate enough power for a critical call or text. Some even have SOS alarms to signal for help. I keep one in my house, one in my car, and one in my bug-out bag. It's triple redundancy for a reason. When all else fails, when the grid is down, the sun isn't shining, and your batteries are dead, this little device will still work. It's the ultimate backup, and in a crisis, that's priceless. 7. Solar thermal water heater. Hot water without the hassle. When the grid goes down, one of the first luxuries to disappear is hot water. Cold showers are more than just uncomfortable. They're demoralizing. But beyond comfort, hot water is essential for hygiene, washing dishes, and preventing the spread of disease. Trying to heat water over a fire is not only time-consuming but also a massive drain on fuel resources. The solution? A solar thermal water heater. Unlike photovoltaic panels that convert sunlight into electricity, a solar thermal water heater directly captures the sun's heat and transfers it to water. It's a passive, non-electric process that's both efficient and reliable. Think of it like leaving a garden hose in the sun, but on a much larger and more effective scale. There are two main types of solar thermal collectors: flat panel collectors and evacuated tube collectors. While flat panels are simpler, evacuated tube collectors are far more efficient. These glass tubes act like thermoses, with a dark coating to absorb heat and a vacuum layer for insulation. They can even heat water effectively on cold, sunny days. Here's how it works. Cold water flows through the collector, either passively through thermosiphoning or with the help of a small solar-powered pump. The water absorbs heat as it moves through the system and is stored in an insulated tank. This tank keeps the water hot for hours, even overnight, giving you a steady supply of hot water for cleaning, bathing, or cooking. While setting up a solar thermal water heater is a bigger project, the payoff is enormous. It's a long-term solution that improves your quality of life and helps maintain hygiene in a grid-down scenario. No electricity, no firewood, just free, sustainable hot water from the sun. 8. Solar oven. Cooking made simple and silent. When the power's out, cooking becomes a challenge. Sure, you could use a fire, but it's messy, fuel-intensive, and the smoke can attract unwanted attention. Enter the solar oven, a low-tech, fuel-free solution that's as simple as it is effective. A solar oven works by capturing and concentrating sunlight to cook food. It relies on three basic principles: concentration, absorption, and retention. Reflective panels focus sunlight onto the cooking area, while the black interior and dark pots absorb heat. A glass lid traps the heat inside, creating a greenhouse effect that can reach temperatures of 350 to 400 degrees Fahrenheit. What can you cook in a solar oven? Just about anything. From baking bread to roasting meat and boiling water, the possibilities are endless. And because the heat is gentle and evenly distributed, it's almost impossible to burn your food. Think of it as a slow cooker powered by the sun. Imagine this: you're days into a power outage, surviving on cold canned food. Then you mix up some bread dough, place it in your solar oven, and a few hours later you're pulling out a hot, freshly baked loaf. The psychological boost of a hot meal can't be overstated. It's a taste of normalcy in an otherwise chaotic situation. The best part, a solar oven is completely silent, smokeless, and requires no fuel. As long as the sun is shining, you've got a functional off-grid kitchen. It's a must-have for anyone serious about self-reliance. Manual kitchen gadgets. Human power for everyday tasks. When the grid goes down, you can't rely on electric appliances to get things done, but that doesn't mean you have to give up on modern conveniences. With the right manual kitchen gadgets, you can handle everything from food prep to laundry using nothing but human power. Let's start with the basics. Food preparation. No blender? No problem. A hand crank blender can pulverize fruits and vegetables with a bit of effort. giving you smoothies, soups, and sauces without electricity. It's a great workout too. Next up, coffee. If you're a coffee drinker, whole beans are the way to go for long-term storage, but you'll need a way to grind them. A manual burr grinder is the perfect solution. It's durable, easy to use, and gives you fresh coffee every morning. A small but significant comfort in tough times. Now, let's talk about grains. If you're stockpiling wheat berries or other whole grains, a manual grain mill is a game changer. With some elbow grease, you can turn those grains into fresh flour, unlocking a massive store of long-term food. It's an essential tool for baking bread, making pasta, or preparing other staples. Finally, there's laundry. Washing clothes by hand is a miserable, time-consuming task, but a manual washing machine can make it manageable. These devices, often resembling a sealed drum with a hand crank, use minimal water and get clothes surprisingly clean in just a few minutes. Each of these tools proves that with a little effort and the right equipment, you can maintain a comfortable, functional household without electricity. Human power is the ultimate off-grid energy source, and these gadgets make it work for you. 10. Smart direct solar power system. Maximum efficiency, no batteries. We've talked about powering individual devices, but what if you want to run multiple items and make the most of your solar panels? That's where a smart direct solar power system comes in. This advanced setup uses an MPPT, maximum power point tracking controller, to optimize the energy from your solar panels. An MPPT controller acts like a smart transmission, constantly analyzing the power coming from your panels and adjusting the load to harvest the maximum amount of energy. It ensures that no watts are wasted, making your system as efficient as possible. Here's how it works. Connect your solar array to the MPPT controller, and then connect your DC appliances directly to the load terminals. This setup eliminates the need for batteries, but it does require some technical know-how. You'll need to configure the controller properly, as most are designed to charge batteries. The benefits are huge. With an MPPT controller, your devices run at peak efficiency throughout the day. For example, a water pump connected to a simple buck converter will just run, but with an MPPT controller, it will operate at its absolute best, even under varying sunlight conditions. This system is ideal for dedicated daytime setups, like a workshop where you want to run fans, lights, and small DC motors. When the sun goes down, the system shuts off. No batteries to maintain, no risk of over-discharge. It's a sophisticated battery-free solution for those who want to take their off-grid setup to the next level. Bonus point 1. Solar-powered desalination system. Turning salt water into fresh water. When the grid goes down, access to clean drinking water becomes one of the most critical challenges. While rain barrels, wells, and natural springs are great sources, what happens if you live near the coast or in an area where fresh water is scarce? This is where a solar-powered desalination system comes into play. A bonus tool that can literally turn seawater into life-sustaining fresh water. Unlike traditional desalination plants that require massive amounts of energy, a solar-powered desalination system uses the sun's heat to do the heavy lifting. The concept is simple yet effective. Sunlight heats salt water, causing it to evaporate. The water vapor then condenses on a cool surface, leaving the salt and impurities behind. What you're left with is clean, drinkable water. There are two main types of solar desalination systems: passive and active. Passive systems are low-tech and easy to build. They typically involve a black basin to absorb heat, a transparent cover to trap the evaporated water, and a collection trough for the condensed droplets. Active systems, on the other hand, use solar panels to power small pumps or fans, speeding up the evaporation and condensation process. While passive systems are slower, they're incredibly reliable and require no moving parts or electricity. Active systems are faster, but slightly more complex to set up. Either way, the result is the same: a steady supply of fresh water, even in the harshest conditions. Imagine being stranded near the ocean, with no access to clean water. A solar desalination system could be the difference between survival and dehydration. It's not just a tool, it's a lifeline. And the best part, it's powered entirely by the sun, making it a sustainable, off-grid solution for one of life's most essential needs. Bonus point 2. Pedal-powered generator. Electricity at your feet. When the sun isn't shining and the grid is down, what's your backup plan for generating electricity? Enter the pedal-powered generator. a bonus device that turns your physical effort into usable energy. It's a simple, effective way to charge small devices, power lights, or even run a small appliance, all while getting a workout. The concept is straightforward. A stationary bike is connected to a generator, which converts the mechanical energy from pedaling into electrical energy. The electricity can then be used directly or stored in a small battery for later use. Some systems even come with USB ports, allowing you to charge your phone or other devices on the go. What makes a pedal-powered generator so valuable is its reliability. Unlike solar panels, which depend on sunlight, this system works anytime, anywhere. Whether it's day or night, rain or shine, as long as you can pedal, you can generate power. This device is particularly useful for short-term energy needs. For example, if you need to charge a flashlight, power a radio, or run a small fan, a few minutes of pedaling can provide enough electricity to get the job done. It's also a great way to stay active and burn off some stress during a crisis. For those who want to take it a step further, you can build a DIY pedal-powered generator using an old bike, a car alternator, and a bit of ingenuity. It's a fun project that pays off in spades when the grid goes down. In a world where energy is scarce, having a pedal-powered generator is like having a personal power plant at your feet. Bonus point 3. Rocket stove. Maximum heat, minimal fuel. Cooking without electricity or gas can be a daunting task, especially if you're trying to conserve resources. That's where the rocket stove comes in, a bonus tool that delivers maximum heat with minimal fuel. It's a highly efficient, portable cooking solution that's perfect for off-grid living. The rocket stove's design is what makes it so effective. It uses a small combustion chamber to burn sticks, twigs, or other biomass at high temperatures. The vertical chimney creates a strong draft, ensuring complete combustion and minimal smoke. This means you get more heat from less fuel, making it an ideal choice for cooking in a grid-down scenario. One of the biggest advantages of a rocket stove is its versatility. You can use it to boil water, cook meals, or even heat a small space in an emergency. And because it burns so efficiently, it produces very little ash, making cleanup a breeze. Rocket stoves come in various sizes, from small portable models to larger, more permanent setups. You can even build your own using materials like bricks, metal cans, or clay. The DIY versions are just as effective as store-bought models and can be customized to suit your specific needs. Imagine being in a long-term power outage with limited resources. A rocket stove allows you to cook hot meals using nothing but a handful of sticks. It's a simple, reliable tool that brings a sense of normalcy to an otherwise challenging situation.